Hello, everybody. Let me make sure I'm actually streaming here. Okay, looks like we're good to go. So I haven't streamed in a few days. I just felt the urge to. This is gonna be. I'm gonna try to make this a short one. But we have a little bit of reading to do, and probably shouldn't be doing that because I've been straining my voice today. I've been doing a decent amount of talking today, and I'm only adding pressure to that. But fuck it, who cares? I like my lore, and that's what we're getting into today. So, I recently I've been playing this a little bit with my buddies, and I now can officially say that I have all documents in the game, every single one of them. Let me cross these off. That way, I put them because they changed this to where it shows them to you in the order that you received them, basically. But that's not the order that I'm going to be reading them. I am going to be reading these in like the chronological order of when they are released, or when they actually come out. So this does mean that we do actually get to read that one missing document from the what was it called? Gooseberry and Coil. Yeah. We get to read the one missing from that. I think it relates to Coil. I think, or maybe it was Gooseberry. It might have been more of a look in Gooseberry. Let's see. I remember reading, yeah, Prime Asset Context here. And then, okay, we got Hitler versus Mussolini, so that's fun, huh? So yeah, we'll read that, and then we're going to get into the American Century. I hope this one doesn't take too long to read. I'm just going to read through that one, though. It's just going to be the American Century, and the following streams coming up, we're going to get through the rest. I might aim to do like one or two per. As you can see, some of these have like 31, but then others have like 11, right? So it's going to be a little weird doing these, but I'll try my best. So let's get into Hitler versus Mussolini. Most recently we just read through all of the X-Pop stuff, so all like the enemies you can find around, and now we're getting back into the nitty gritty lore stuff. So we got Perry. What's his name? Is it Clyde Perry? Yeah, Clyde Perry's the guy who collects these fuckers, and then Easterman's obviously the runner here. So starting with Perry, let's do this. Sure, I think your words were fountainhead and charisma. Are you familiar with Adolf Hitler? I head off the guy. Yeah, I think he meant to say heard. Carl Jung saw both Hitler and Mussolini speak at a rally. Mussolini was boisterous, strong, cheerful. Everybody liked him. Charismatic? No, emphatically not. Mussolini was merely popular, a strong man. There's nearly one in every room. Hitler, on the other hand, was withdrawn, uncomfortable, an unattractive little man until he began speaking, at which point Jung described him as a psychic scarecrow. All of Hitler's ranting, his spastic gestures and shrill voice, he seems like a man possessed. You want me to find you crazy people? No, no, no. I want someone you can put in a sane crowd and 10 minutes later have a mob of lunatics. I want witch doctors. How many Hitlers are you looking for total? As many as you can find. As I said, they're exceedingly rare. Perry, thank God. Yeah. He's doing his job, but it seems like he's a skeptical guy. I guess he's trying to really understand what the fuck. Because you got to imagine, Easterman's a very abstract guy. He thinks outside the box, like the way he addresses these things. He stands out even among his peers in terms of just how fucking insane he is and how ambitious he is. Like he's literally looking up to Hitler, as a, not like an idol here necessarily, but just inspiration for what he's trying to accomplish here. And Perry's just, I think he's like a detective. I don't know the lore of Perry, but I imagine he's not into this stuff to the same degree that Easterman is. He's just doing a job, right? He's just going out and finding these people and bringing them back. That's all he's really doing. Compared to like actually setting up the intricacies of what they're going to do with them once they actually get there. Perry doesn't give a fuck about that. He just cares about getting them to where they need to be. Okay, moving on. So this is the American Century: How Murkoff and the CIA Shape World Politics. I kept pressing circle instead of X. Great. So starting off, we're in 1949. This is the earliest we've seen the document so far. All right, freedom and goal and global leadership. This is from Avellanos. Proposal for business opportunity. Dear sirs, I've been made aware of a new opportunity for great revenue in the promotion of higher ideals of freedom in global leadership. It involves a simple matter of chemical refinement for our friends at the new agency, well, within the capabilities already established by Murkoff Pharmaceutical. 1. Agency asset P. Hellawell is providing heroin to Chiang Kai-shek's rebels in Thailand and Burma to indirectly fund Shek's anti-communist activities. 2. The agency wishes to expand such operations into Europe and the Middle East in light of rising leftist sympathies. 3. CIA contacts among the Sicilians are incapable of refining heroin, lacking the sophistication to do so without great risk of fire or product loss. The Corsicans have the capability but cannot be hired without insulting Mr. Luciano. 4. Murkoff Pharmaceutical could easily refine such medicine. I've casually proposed such an arrangement to Dr. Lawler, who is amenable, pending upstream conversations. To say it plainly, entering into this sort of arrangement allows us to become part of the CIA's extra-budgetary, self-funded activities. This could be a near-limitless, global, tax-adjacent revenue stream with extraordinarily powerful legal protective implications. Please consider this carefully. And then we're making a 5-year gap. So it looks like... Wow. So Avellanos was the guy to the board, by the way. That is fucking vague and creepy. So he seems to be the one that really shot this off. Like he seems to be the one that got this off the ground from an idea into an actual practice. And then in the 50s, that's when they got the genius to concoct it in Easterman. We got agency partners, private correspondence between Bradley Avellanos and Lawler, Central Intelligence. Dear Jameson, a little bluebird told me you were considering another contractor for research in the area of pharmaceuticals and psychological influence. I discussed it over luncheon with Alan the other day, a lovely dish of artichokes, and he shares my concern. Please remember, as they say in the gangster pictures, you don't have anything on us that we don't have on you. You've come to the Murkoff Corporation in the past for help outside the bureaucratic stagnation of Congress and your own agency. To reject our offer of assistance at this point could have terrible public implications. Please reconsider, and we look forward to working with you. A. Bradley. Wow. Okay. So they seem to have kind of blackmailed, in a way, their way into getting, like, funding or, like, access through, like, CIA resources. So that's sick. Collateral damage. San Antonio, Texas. Farm family brutally slain. A deranged airman brutally murdered a family in the early hours of Monday morning, sexually molesting several members of the family. Several animals may also have received unwanted attention. The airman, second-class Jerome... Is that Jerome or Jeremy? I think it's Jerome. Jerome Gillette, 37, was found naked and disoriented among the hogs outside the scene of the murder. He's being held in an unknown location as protection against vigilante justice. Gillette, a World War II veteran and instructor at Lackland Air Base, claims to have no memory of the crime. Though physical evidence makes his guilt obvious, he told officers his last memory was Sunday night's fireworks and being offered a piece of chewing gum for a woman in white, before he blacked out and woke up days later among the hogs. Gillette was spotted by a postal, and then Family Slain Part 3. So this was in Easterman's records. And then Blowback. Private correspondence between Lawler and Avellino. Bradley, if you haven't yet seen the headlines coming out of San Antonio, I strongly suggest you have a newspaper carried. A crime this disgusting, this violent, committed in public. We are working to make certain the press does not make public any connections between the crime, the air base, and our activities. I'm sick just thinking about it. This cannot happen again. So it seems like... Because he was a war vet, right? Yeah, a veteran and instructor at Lackland Air Base. No memory of the crime. So it seems like he was one of their earlier experiments, but since I guess they didn't have the facility yet at that point, so I guess he got out from wherever they had him, and he just kind of went crazy. Pushback. Private correspondence. Bradley to Lawler. Dear Jameson, nobody ever said progress would be clean and easy. Don't lose your nerve now. The San Antonio incident was regrettable, but please think of it as a speed bump in the road. As we've learned before, so long as the public has somebody to hang, they won't get too curious. This doesn't have to happen again, as you should be well aware. Signala solves this and any issues that could arrive in the future. If we keep this in-house, if we control the environment entirely, we can minimize the potential for the speed bumps and easily keep any that arise from the public view. It's only a matter of money, and Murkoff has made a very reasonable proposal for how it can be sourced outside congressional approval. Please be prompt in your reply. Yeah. Basically tell them to chill the fuck out. These happened within days of each other here. So 5 months passed after they kind of made their official, like, hey man, let's do this thing. 5 months pass and there's already been a fucking problem. Already there's been a problem that could get like public shit. Alright, we got the American Century. Thought leaders. Dien Bien Phu. This is between Avellanos, Lawler, and Easterman. Starting with Avellanos. The short answer is results. We'll be looking at data from Los Alamos and Mount Massive, but with a mind toward producing actionable agents. Lawler, actionable? Easterman, as in releasable. Avellanos, deployable on the battlefield. We'll be making the thought leaders for drastic societal change, for which you need all this. You could build an aircraft carrier in here. Easterman, you want to train shepherds? You have to give them a flock on a large enough scale with extremities of taboo applicable across cultures. Lawler, I don't need the term paper. Keep talking about actionable. Avellanos, Dien Bien Phu. What about it? Avellanos, our allies, who we have pledged to support, got their little French heads kicked in by the communists at Dien Bien Phu, and Eisenhower sat on his hands. Why? Lawler, new look, massive retaliation. Avellanos, correct. The U.S. engaging in Indochina would mean nuclear war. Any retaliation is massive retaliation. Bombs mean more bombs, and once us or the Soviets are involved, ... Easterman, Lathe offers the agency a quieter weapon. Lathe lets you deploy belief. Tool of belief. Is this the same conversation? It is. It is, I think. Yeah, it's the same conversation. Avellino, agency already invested. You just need to let it ride. Compared to SADM, we're a bargain, with potential domestic and civilian applications. Lawler, I am not going to acknowledge domestic applications. Avellino, The communist threat is just as real here as abroad. Easterman. Charisma and belief. These were the lessons of World War II. Ignorant that at your peril. These names, dude. Chiang Kai-shek, the French in Indochina. They lost... Is that pronounced Indochina? Or is it pronounced Indochina? I'm sure it's Indochina, right? I don't know I don't know this shit. I don't know how to pronounce these. They lost because they underestimated the power of charisma and belief. Lawler. They lost to communist uprisings. Easterman. Communism's just a wedge. It's a tool of belief like any other. Lawler. I'm going to have trouble selling charisma to the boys upstairs. Easterman. Because Doles is a banker. He thinks the world is made by rich men in backroom deals. Lawler. Is he wrong? Avelinos. Tell your bosses it's not charisma, it's marketing. It's propaganda. Lawler. I don't know. Avelinos. You can see it. Lawler. Hell, I don't know. Easterman. Indochina's not nettled. Not by a long shot. Uncle Ho's a charismatic man. I need to look up these names. I'm not going to do it right now, though. And we got a big one, Vietnam. This is a private journal entry from Easterman. The path of discovery is never a straight line. Nothing humbles a man so much as a strict adherence to the scientific method. I thought charisma could be combated with charisma, but fighting fire with fire only makes a conflagration. I look again to Christ. You kill a nation's soldier, and all you've done is kill a soldier. But if you strike against yourself, a tactical suicide correctly applied, you can destroy that whole nation. It occurs to me, as I took at orders for reagents in Vietnam, reagents conditioned for self-destruction, culturally attuned to urban environments, aesthetically groomed to pass in a Western crowd. It looks much like we are striking at ourselves in order to kill our enemy. Sometimes the trials imitate the world, and sometimes the world imitates the trials. I don't really think that's true, Easterman, but sure. Also, that is a 4-year leap. So it seems like he was kind of reflecting on... Alright, next up we got We Live As We Dream. This is between Avellino and Lawler. Lawler. Supposed to be hard to tap. Can you hear me alright? Avellino. You should just make the trip. Lawler. Believe me, I want to, but I'm in Morocco. The Africa situation's getting out of hand. We're going to have a dozen brand new nations by the end of summer. We're offering our partners some assistance. We may need a hand from Murkoff. Avellinos. Africa. What is this about? Landing strips? Lawler. Mines. We've got surveys showing the uranium iodes. Loads? Iodes? Loads? I don't fucking know. Have the potential to be just incredible. If we have any chance of outpacing the Soviets, this is where we do it. Tell your people to expect a call from the Oh, fuck that. Avellinos. You're gonna have to spell that for me. Yeah, exactly. How do you say that? I'm gonna try to pronounce it. I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm gonna try. Stadsvel. Stadsvel. I don't fucking know. We've got surveys showing the uranium loads have potential to be just incredible. Loads, I think, is what that says. So yeah, they could get a good amount of uranium out of this whole Africa deal. Is that what that's about? Mines. My dumbass. The potential to be just incredible. Is this where they started with the idea of the mines that they put in the trials? Okay, next up we got Bay of Pigs. This is 1961. So this is actually pretty recent. I think this is like current too. The fuck? Bay of Pigs. This is between Lawler, Avellino. Yeah, Lawler and Avellino. Lawler, Soviets know it's going to happen. You're sure? They've got the date. Playa Giron, the whole thing. You calling it off? No, no, no. The information stopped at Bissell. Kennedy doesn't know, and it's going to stay that way. We're keeping things siloed. Duels is hell-bent on Zapata. You can't imagine how much he hates Castro. Yeah, I'm sure he does. Avelinos, so what are you doing here? Looking like you pissed on a rug. It's that obvious? Hell, Alice, I'll just say it. We're calling back the Cuba reagents. Your team isn't part of the operation, and you don't even have to ask. Murkoff held up its end of the contract. Everything will be paid out. You think you could pull it off without us? We've got 1,500 Cuban exiles backed by a squad of marauders. This should be seen in a Cuban effort, and the leak of the Soviets spooked Allen. We're tightening ranks, Avelinos. Wait, you don't think the security breach came from within Murkoff? Lawler. I don't know, Alice. This is coming... Does he call him Alice? The fuck? Why does he call him Alice? I don't know, Alice. This is coming from above my pay grade. They said something about you having a Soviet asset on site. They... Avelinos, it's a bad call. Murkoff's got more invested in Cuba than just an agency contract. Lawler. What? What does that mean? Avelinos, it's above your pay grade. Yeah. So he's trying to call off. There's so much going on here. It's a little tough for me to keep up. And I do think this is a little skewed because I have a feeling that these were released like way more recently than the other ones, seeing as it's 1961. I think the in-game year is 1961. So this is like current shit. Makes sense. I think Easterman's not in the conversation here. Tells me he's busy. Oh boy, look at all this, huh? So these, okay, this is interesting. So these are the events. So we can read, I'm going to read through a few of these. I'm not going to read through all of them. I'm going to be getting off in a little bit. But these are like updated for sure as it goes. But it is like the event the event shit that they do. So Geister, let's start with that. A visitor. Oh, Wernicke, fuck yeah. Oh yeah, this was when the game first came out. That's right. Wernicke, he was in the first trailer, I think. Because like Wernicke showed up to see what the fuck was going on. I'm really curious how Easterman reacted to that then. August 28th, 1959. This is in Easterman's journal. Wernicke continues to haunt the sleep room. He has not seen me watching from my hidden vantages. Indeed, Wernicke seems completely uninterested in any Murkoff staff, focused entirely on the reagents in the sleep room as they rest and recover between trials. I remember that motherfucker sitting up there. I remember. You would see Wernicke just sitting up like on the top and just watching everybody. Barlow tells me Wernicke's been watching reagents sleep, going so far as to participate in some patients' paralytic trauma therapy. Wernicke's work at Los Alamos is centered on dreams and superstition, subjects that could pose a dangerous source of infection for Lathe 2. Subconscious surgery requires scalpels, not chainsaws. Ugh. We need nightmares. Lawler, Avellino. Okay, just between those two. It's out of Los Alamos? That's right. Good, good. We're calling it Program Geister. Geister, that sounds like paperclip. It's in collaboration with Dr. Wernicke's lab. Jules is going to like that. Do you want to hear the premise? There's typos in this. There's a decent amount of typos in these documents. I'm not going to lie. I think that's supposed to be premise. Lawler. I read the notes. It's a good direction. I don't have a lot of time here. Avellino. So I can tell the board we have the agency's cooperation. You read the newspaper. We get them a few days late out here. Cuba's not looking good. The Castro we saw on Ed Sullivan is not the Castro pissing all over United Fruit. Avellino. I'll cash out my banana investments. Lawler. It's not funny. 100 miles off our shores. Castro's making all the worst enemies. The agency is not averse to spending money right now. All this latent agency business here is a little slow for the tone of foreign relations right now. Avelinos. Geister is a more aggressive program. Aggressive is good. We don't need agents of eventual disruption. We need actionable weapons. Wernicke is promising nightmare material. Lawler. Good, good. We need nightmares. Avelinos. I'll tell the board we have your approval. Next up we got Geister proposal to board. So this is him sending it to the board. The board is terrifying. It sounds like the connections from fucking Resident Evil. Jesus. Okay. Our compatriots at Los Alamos have identified extraordinary commercial potential and unexpected side effects of Project Lathe 2, as expressed in, among others, reagent 0877. Please refer earlier results. 0877. I'll try to remember that. Specifically, the convergent extrasensory activity among test subjects relating to the so-called Skinner Man. The hallucinations are remarkable in their own right, but the fact that they are shared between unrelated reagents in separate trials is extraordinarily provocative. Jesus Christ. Dr. Wernicke has been tracing the increase of reagent hallucinations, correlating directly to seasonal change, despite the Signala facility's complete removal from outside variation in light and temperature. Dr. Wernicke is proposing trials in converted hallucination titled Program Geister, centered on a specific schedule of chemical encouragement and guided trauma. Results will be shared with Los Alamos and Mount Massive. The budget accordingly amateurized. I don't know that word. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know what that word means. Our agency partners have already expressed interest, and we can expect outside funding to put us in the black even before exploitation of trial results. Full budget proposal attached. Please advise. Okay, and then it got approval. They got the funding for this shit. I don't know what the program specifically is other than nightmares. That's all I have to go off of. I'm assuming it's like further investment on the psychosis gas shit. The board has officially authorized Program Geister. All test results to be shared with Los Alamos, Mount Massive, and agency partners. Oh my god. All Geister trials will be under the authority of Los Alamos staff, primarily Dr. Wernicke. Additional expenses should be minimal, primarily related to pharmaceuticals and cleanup, biohazard disposal. Handwritten note at bottom of page, call me, dangerous expectations from the board. What's Geister? I have a catalog for it. I don't know if that's going to tell me anything. Where is it? Project Geister. View. Geister. Was this a Halloween event? Yeah, this was a Halloween event for sure. Is that why it's nightmares? Because it's just scary visuals? Were they just bombarding people with scary visuals? That kind of seems to be the case. I'm trying to see if there's any like lines for the outfits. Build a dream, burn it down. Murkoff wants you. That's cute. Yeah, this was like the first event. I think it was the I have part of this complete. Are you fucking kidding me? That's stupid. I think I started playing around this time when Breach came out. Maybe Geister. I think I played around the time Geister came out. And then, yeah, this season like had just freshly released. Then we had Winter Kills. Then we had Amelia, which was probably the best fucking event in the game. Absolutely loved this so much. I really hope we get something new like that, because ever since Amelia we haven't gotten anything too crazy. Okay. So Geister seems to be a mix of chemicals and just terrifying visuals, I guess. Alright, oh, should I read through this? I'm gonna read through, what's a short one? Verses. Let's read through Verses. This is the newest one. I think this was the Invasion event that they added. Easterman and Avelinos. Cool. Easterman. He still might die of the wounds, Avelinos. The fact it failed isn't the problem. It's that it happened in the first place. We had reagents in the field, but on the side of the Imam. Imam? Easterman. I don't know anything about Yemen. Avelinos. There was assassination attempt on the Imam. He had agents there, but we weren't responsible. The board feels that it's illustrating a gap in our services, counter operations. Easterman. You mean what? Bodyguards? Avelinos. Nothing so pedestrian. More flexibly applicable assets. We're creating tools that can be applied against civilians and traditional military targets, but they're significantly less effective against other agents. Easterman. So we created invasion therapy. Avelinos. I think we need to go further. Easterman. How do you mean? Avelinos. I leave the details to you. What I'm saying is that the board identified a market. You have a budget to apply to a program here if you've got something. Easterman. I have an idea already. Avelino. I knew you would. So is this like where you got the idea for fucking Versus, for Invasion, I guess? This, oh wow, this came out very recently. This is one of the newest documents added in the game, I think. That's March 24th. Yeah, that like just came out like a few weeks ago. So they're gonna add on to that for sure. Let me see like what the most, like the absolute most recent ones are. Because we're looking for year 61. Yeah, I think that might be the most recent document, like, in the entire game. The one I just read. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the most recent one that they've added. So we're gonna get more lore through this one right here. We're gonna get more out of this. They're gonna expand upon like what the invasion, like what's going on with that. I think there was a woman speaking in the trailer for this season that mentioned how Easterman's like going too far, because like the invasion therapies just made this so much more fucking chaotic, and he's also like skewing people's mind by like continuing to use the image of Amelia, even though like honestly I think after Amelia got I feel like some people might have held on to a little hope, but not enough to like try to escape that same way. So it really feels like Easterman right now is just doing stupid bullshit just for stupid bullshit. So, like, he's losing his mind. I remember reading a document from the Amelia catalog. I'm not going to dig for it right now, but I remember reading a document somewhere in these documents that was talking about they were walking in on Easterman in his office, and he was just like covered in his own like shit and stuff. Like he was high as fuck. He was taking it's like I don't know if it was given to him or what happened, but he was fucked up bad. So, and that stuff has like long lasting effects. They wouldn't be using that stuff if it didn't have long term effects on your mental state. And the fact that he's not only been exposed to that, but has actively been exposing himself to this entire goddamn facility for this period of time. Who the fuck?
Check that shit out.
Some motherfuckers in my room. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to finally be caught up on the lore. It's still gonna take me a few weeks to really get caught up, but like I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying playing catch up with this stuff. Let's find some good decorations here. There's theories running around right now that Easterman is going to be one of the next prime assets, possibly the last one. I don't know. In the lore, it's possible that Easterman's going to get replaced. But I don't know if that happens. That would be kind of I feel like that would be the final nail in the coffin for this game. And like I can't see the game lasting that much longer. Like they might keep the servers up and they might keep the game running for a while, but I don't know about them adding content. There's also always the possibility of them adding oh Jesus. There's a possibility of them adding a new game. Jesus fucking Christ, I can't think of basic ass words right now. Yeah, there's a possibility of them adding a straight up new game, or making a new Outlast game. I actually got a new bed frame. Are you fucking kidding me? It's insane. I'm gonna do the fire one. I don't think there's a catalog currently active right now. There's the new one that just came out right here. Nothing too crazy. I was looking at some of these skins. They look alright. Like this one. I like the last one. This last skin right here is actually kind of sick. Hide in plain sight. Serve no one. Okay, well. Thanks for anybody who decided to stop by. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I have. I really look forward to it. God damn, look at all those fucking rebirths. 4,146,999. That's fucking crazy. Oh, there's a chess game. Hold on. I gotta see what's going on here. Are they good? Oh, black is down 2 pieces. Ooh, what are you doing over there, bro? Just push your pawn up, dog. Just push the pawn up, bro. What the fuck? Eesh. That laugh, dude. I don't understand what the fuck this is right now.
Obedience facilitates autonomy.
What does that accomplish? It attacks the knight, obviously, but he could have done that with anything. Yeah. No, he just takes with Bish.
The trials give you power.
Okay. Just move the rook over, dude. It's not gonna do anything, bro. Just move the rook over.
You are in control.
He could have moved the rook over to attack the Oh, that works though. That works. Oh no. This is so sad. This is so sad. I'm surprised he didn't take the other rook. He very easily could have.
There is strength
This is such a scuffed ass game. I'm not watching this anymore. Anyways, okay. This is actually good night. Or good morning, whatever the fuck it is, later. I'll be streaming again, hopefully soon.